How do folks, how's it diddling? Today in this video you join me on the floor again as I'm working on the Clio to do a bit of C.A.D, not computer aided design because I can barely use computer, but we're going to be doing a bit of throwback to cardboard aided design and how it can help you with your project and how to figure out how to do batch panels properly and yeah, get it all sorted. So come and join me. How much rust? All of it. So this is what I'm on about. So we've already done the inner sill, and this is the strengthening sill that we need to patch up. So you can see here I've used the finest Copperberg cardboard box in order to make some patches, which then I can later transfer onto a piece of steel. So the benefit of doing it this way, instead of just kind of getting steel in and trying to do that, you know, try and make it fit, it's at least with this way you can get a rough gauge of how it's going to fit, and any trimming that you need to do, you can do it straight away. And obviously do complicated, well, not complicated, but little bits like this, and also corner pieces. So here we have what's known as an end cap. There it goes there. Now with the end cap, it follows the profile of the sill that comes down here. Now I haven't got the sill at the moment, the outer sill. I've ordered it, so I've kind of made this rough template, but what I'll do, this will be like the last piece that I make. So what I'll do is pull it off here and show you. There you go, Copperberg. So I'm not entirely sure of the profile of this edge. I've kind of made it roughly. So when the sill does turn up, I will get this, put it onto the inner part of the sill to make sure that this is actually going to sit nice and flush and not going to attempt to push the sill out. And I can make any adjustments that I need in order to be able to make this fit. So yeah, so that's that. And like I say, it's very simple, just a bit of card. It doesn't have to be thick card, you know, it's like this stuff. And this helps you a lot because you can make a load of patches and know what to you know, these kind of, like this, where this edge is here, you're going to have to make a load of cuts in order to kind of radius this round. So, and obviously there's a bit that needs to be added. And again, with this, you can kind of cut a piece out, put it in. If you need to cut off some off, you can. But if you need to add some more to it, you just get little bits of scrap pieces or whatever and just add them on. And there you go. So, yeah, C.A.D. It works out pretty good. So once you've got all your pieces and you're happy with the, you know, the way that they are and the fitment, as it were, then you can take these, put it onto your steel, mark it out, and then cut it. So, and then knowing that you're not got to spend half an hour, 45 minutes, or God knows how long, in trying to get these right. You know, you've got a rough template. Now there is obviously these pieces here, this, you know, this kind of hump which kind of adds a bit of strength. So what I'm going to do is round here just use a hammer and something and some not tweezers but pliers to kind of you know, I haven't got a rolling machine or anything like that, or a bead roller in order to replicate that, but you know, I'm just going to execute it here, and then there's one here which will just come down and I'll just do that. Luckily it hasn't gone into this hole, so that just welds straight onto there. But yeah, so let's get the steel out, let's get the cutting disc and take these off, stick them on the steel and cut them out. So once you're happy with your template, the cutout, once you're happy with your template, then just stick it on. Now, a lot of people just scribe around it. This is the way that I like to do it. Just put the template on so then you can follow it nicely around. And then we got the other template here. So we'll cut this one out first. Then you know, if we cut a nice straight line down here, then we can plop that one on next to it, or, you know, plop it up there, or whatever. Actually, might end up, yeah, that might work all right there. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll stick that one up there. Right, back in a sec. Right, so that's the other template stuck on. So I'll set the camera up so you can see me cutting this out. Right, let's crack on. Right, so there we go, all cut out. And probably just need to do a bit of fettling on there, but we'll stick them on the car and see where we go from there. But if we take the templates off, do it one-handed. There you go. So now it's always worth just cleaning up the edges as well, just once you cut it, because you'll get like a bit of a burr. So just trim them off, so it saves your fingers just in case. Fold them back. There we go. So obviously I nicked that slightly, but as we can see, the cardboard aided designers work fantastic. So yeah, right, let's pop them underneath and see how they look. And there we go. So that's the steel panels. They're just sat in there at the moment. So put a little bit of a slit in this to fit up there. There, you can see that well. The light's starting to fade now. And yeah, not bad fit. Just need to kind of burr out that corner slightly. But yeah, and this panel's kind of collapsed in. So I'm happy with that. The fitments is fantastic. So the next job is to put a toggle edge down on this one and this one. So what I mean by a toggle edge is using something like this. You can tell I haven't used it that often because it's still in its packaging. So this is a hole puncher and joggler. So you got your hole punch there to cats are having a moan. So that's to pop out holes for seam welding, not seam welding, for spot welding, which I'll end up doing on these edges as well. And then also you can flip this head round. Needs a bit of adjustment because it's a bit but yeah, so be able to put a bit of an edge. So you pop that in like that, you can see, and then you squeeze down, is create like a tiny, see that kink in there? Tiny little bit of a shelf. And then, so that'll, there you go. It's not perfect, and it's going to give me carpal tunnel syndrome, no doubt. But we'll do that on them panels all the way along the bottom, and then I'll drill a hole like every probably 2 inches or 1.5 inches across in order to weld it to the back panel. So yeah, I can crack on with doing that. And there we have it. So I didn't film it because, well, you don't want to hear me huffing and puffing like an old sod. Now, these are not bad for, say, up to 1 mil thick steel, but 1.5, it struggles. There is a bit of a, you can see there is a bit of a lip, but it's not kinked over too much, but we'll make it work. Same with that one. Punching the holes as well, it was struggling, but it did them, so they're all ready. So the next job, which will be tomorrow, because the sun is going down, and it's yeah, it's 5:30, and it's getting dark. So the next job for tomorrow will be to clean all this up and make a template for that. But yeah, clean all this up, ready for it to be welded on, ready for these plates. But give you some idea, get this plate and kind of shimmy it in. So yeah, so you get some idea, and then spot welded at the bottom to the inner sill, and that will all be done. Just need to give that a bit of a fettle there, but and then this plate as well, that goes in there. So join me tomorrow, and I'll crack out the welder, and we'll get these pieces burnt in. So it's the next day, and the weather was sunny, but yeah, this is my view from the floor. So here we have, so this plate's been welded in. Yeah, not pretty, but it's solid. And there we go, there's the spot welds. So I'm going to film this piece being welded in. So I've pretty much ignored that bit. I'll do that at some other point. But the main goal for this now is to obviously fill them holes in, get a bead of weld down there, and also up here is a little bit of a gap up there, but we'll sort that. Like I say, grinder and paint make me the welder I ain't. So right, let's crack on. So there we go. So that's all. I'm not going to touch it because it's very warm, but you can see by the colour change here that we've got at least good penetration, and all up there. And obviously these will all need to be ground. These are cold now because I've done them a while ago, but these just need to be ground back smooth, not too much, but you know, enough, so that when I come to put the outer sill on. But yeah, so that's looking a loads lot better than the absolute big mess of a rusty hole. So I still need to zip this bit out here, which I'm going to do next. Just kind of cut down there and along there, and then put in a little patch, chop this out, and get that all cleaned up, and then pigeon poop another panel in there. But yeah, so it's looking a lot better. I'm happy with that. Certainly going a lot better than I thought it was. So that's bits now cut out. There wasn't much holding it in, but it's gone. So the next step is C.A.D. So show you how to make a template. There's a pen. So nice straight edge there. And you just want to rub the pen along like that. There we know it bends along there. So there we got, you can see now, rough template. So cut that out with finest pair of scissors, or in this case, some tin snips. Works equally just as well. So you just snippy snip. Now we need to cut a little bit more off the top. Probably a lot more, actually. Yeah. And it goes down a bit like that. And there you go. That's how you use C.A.D. to make a nice little template. So now the next step is obviously to mark this on a piece of steel. Now I'm going to use, like I say, I'm going to use some thinner steel instead of this stuff, which is 1.5, because it's just a little patch there and it'll be fine. So then you get a piece of steel. This was a part of an old sill that I did on a Ford Sports Ka, because Ford really. So you just kind of mark up on there and put your transfer. Use the cutting disc and just cut the template out, give it a clean up, and then throw it in and put some weld in it. There we go. There's the rough piece kind of cut out. Needs a bit of, again, bit of trimming and kind of flattening down. You got these burrs that need trimming off. So, but once you've got rid of those, and again, be careful because these are sharp. You know, do as I say and not what as I do. You know, don't want you to hurt yourselves. So yeah, there we go. Nice little patch panel. So let's get it cleaned up and welded in. So I haven't cleaned it up yet, but get your jugular, as it were. We're just going to punch 2 holes in it and give it a squeeze. There we go. And it always gets stuck. There we go, so one there. Now this was off Amazon. It's not the best thing. It's made of the finest Chinesium, so it's a bit sloppy and a bit kind of but it does the job. You know, like I say, it will punch holes in this stuff no problem. This is a bit of a struggle, but you can do it. So like I say, there we go. That'll plop in there like that. So that's all cleaned up. So let's just plop it in for its final effort. Might just put a kink in here in order to match this. There we go. So you get your same mole grips that you had, or your pliers or whatever, and carefully pinch that in place. Get your ground for your welder. Obviously you should wear a welding mask, but I'm just going to engage my safety squints. We're just going to tack this in place and then just go like I did with the others. So here we go. All right, that'll do. Like I say, it's not perfect and it's not brilliant, and you know, I'm not a fabricator by any means. It's all this is just, you know, practice really. Either watching YouTube videos, which is quite handy, or even just having a go, because it's one of those things that you know, I'll probably get criticised for all this horribleness and, you know, oh, the welds are not great, but at the end of the day, you're not going to see it. It's going to get a bit of a grind and then a paint. But, you know, essentially, that is all done. So get your zinc primer, give it a good shake as well. And then we'll just, doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's covering it, doesn't matter if it runs, the more the better. Fantastic. So there we go. She's all welded in. Coat of etch primer on her to give it a fighting chance. It's not pretty, but it does the job. So obviously next step, obviously sort this bit out, but there's no point in doing that until I get the outer sill, which I have ordered and should be turning up by the end of this week. It's currently Sunday. What date is it? There we go. There's the old Casio watch. 22nd Sunday. So hopefully the sill's meant to be turning up on the 31st, so by the end of the week, next week, and can get that kind of lined up, sorted. There is a bit of welding to do at the front, but I probably won't bother doing filming that. Just kind of get that done and just patch it up to that extent and get it all sorted. So the next video will be the outer sill. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's up to you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I do read everyone's comments, and I do reply back either with a thumbs up or a heart, or even actually put a comment myself. Yeah, so like I say, have a good one, and see you on the next one. And remember, tidy bar.